Most intelligent people don't even realize they're intelligent. In fact, the smarter you are, the more likely you are to question yourself, doubt yourself, even underestimate yourself. But there are subtle signs, behaviors you probably think are normal, that actually reveal a level of intelligence most people don't have. Number 6 is the one almost everyone ignores, yet it's the clearest sign of all. And if you recognize yourself in it, it will completely change how you see your own mind. Let's get into it. 1, you question your own thinking. Most people defend their opinions instantly because their identity is attached to being right. The moment they hear a different perspective, they tense up. They prepare counter arguments. They interrupt. But you don't react that way. When someone challenges your view, your first instinct isn't to fight back. It's to examine your own position. You genuinely ask yourself, wait, what if I'm wrong? That internal pause is not hesitation, it's cognitive strength. You are able to step outside your own ego and observe your thoughts as if they belong to someone else. That ability alone places you ahead of most people. Low intelligence clings to certainty because certainty feels safe. High intelligence tolerates uncertainty because truth matters more than comfort. If you constantly reevaluate your beliefs, replay discussions in your head to see whether your logic was solid, and occasionally feel mentally drained from thinking through too many angles, that's not weakness. That is cognitive depth in action. 2, you get bored by small talk. It's not that you think you're better than anyone. It's that shallow conversation feels repetitive and predictable. When discussions revolve around gossip, trends, or the same recycled topics, your brain disengages. You don't feel stimulated. You crave substance, ideas, motivations, systems, long-term consequences. You want to understand how things work beneath the surface. When that depth isn't available, you may withdraw slightly, not out of arrogance, but out of disinterest. Some people misinterpret this as coldness. In reality, it's mental hunger. Your mind prefers exploration over repetition. That preference often makes you selective about who you truly engage with. 3, you notice patterns others miss. You walk into a room and immediately sense dynamics that others overlook. You detect tension before anyone says a word. You observe tone shifts, subtle facial reactions, changes in posture, and energy fluctuations. While others are immersed in the moment, you are simultaneously observing the structure of the moment. Over time, this turns into pattern recognition. You begin predicting outcomes because you've seen similar behaviors play out before. When events unfold exactly as you anticipated, you're not shocked. You're simply confirming a pattern your mind already mapped. That quiet predictive ability is not luck. It is analytical processing happening almost automatically. 4, you overthink social interactions. After conversations end, you revisit them mentally. You analyze phrasing, pauses, and reactions. You question whether something carried a hidden meaning. While others move on without reflection, your brain continues processing layers. Overthinking can be uncomfortable, yes, but it often stems from high perceptiveness. Your mind doesn't just absorb information at face value, it dissects nuance. You search for context, subtext, and implications. That layered processing can feel exhausting, but it is also a sign that your brain operates beyond surface interpretation. 5, you prefer observing before speaking. In unfamiliar environments, you don't rush to dominate discussions. You watch first. You assess personalities, hierarchies, insecurities, and power dynamics. You gather information before contributing. This restraint is often mistaken for shyness, but it's strategic awareness. You understand that speaking without context reduces precision. Silence, for you, is not emptiness. It is analysis. You prefer understanding the system before influencing it. That patience reflects controlled intelligence rather than impulsive expression. 6, you feel out of place in many groups. This is the sign many intelligent people overlook. If you've frequently felt slightly disconnected in group settings, as if conversations move slower than you're thinking, it may not be social awkwardness, it may be cognitive speed. You might find yourself simplifying complex ideas just to maintain flow. You may notice that certain discussions feel predictable or limited. This doesn't mean you're superior. It means alignment is rare. Intelligent minds often struggle not because they lack social ability, but because they crave intellectual resonance. That subtle feeling of being mentally out of sync can actually signal advanced processing. Now pause for a second. If you've recognized yourself in even 3 of these so far, you're not random. You're wired differently. And if you enjoy understanding what most people completely overlook about human behavior, subscribe. Not casually. Subscribe if you like thinking deeper than average, because this channel isn't about surface motivation, it's about seeing what others miss. Now let's continue. 7. You admit when you don't know something. Saying, "I don't know," without discomfort is a powerful marker of intelligence. Many people pretend competence to protect their image. You value accuracy over appearance. When confronted with unfamiliar information, you don't fabricate confidence, you investigate. This humility accelerates growth because it leaves room for learning. Over time, that openness compounds into deeper understanding. Intelligence isn't about always having answers, it's about refusing to settle for false ones. Number 8. You see multiple sides of arguments. You don't just choose positions, you examine them. You can articulate viewpoints you don't personally hold because you understand their internal logic. That cognitive flexibility allows you to analyze frameworks rather than just conclusions. Most people seek confirmation of what they already believe. You seek structural understanding. This ability reduces emotional reactivity and increases clarity. Seeing multiple sides doesn't make you indecisive, it makes you comprehensive. 9, you're comfortable being alone. Solitude doesn't intimidate you because your mind is active. You think deeply, imagine scenarios, connect ideas across unrelated topics, and reflect on possibilities. Your internal world is engaging enough that external stimulation isn't always necessary. Many people fear silence because it confronts them with emptiness. You experience silence as stimulation. That intellectual independence allows you to grow without constant validation or distraction. 10. You notice inconsistencies quickly. When someone's words don't align with their actions, you register it immediately. When a story lacks coherence, you sense the gap. When logic collapses under scrutiny, you detect the flaw. Your brain automatically scans for contradictions. This can make you skeptical, but it also protects you from manipulation. Others might ignore discrepancies to preserve comfort. You cannot. Your mind prioritizes coherence over convenience. 11. You struggle with perfectionism. You hold yourself to internal standards that others may not see. You revise your work repeatedly. You refine thoughts before expressing them. You aim for precision and depth rather than quick completion. While this can slow you down and create self-criticism, it often reflects a desire for excellence. You're not satisfied with average because your mind recognizes what better looks like. 12. You value learning over being right. Winning arguments doesn't excite you as much as understanding does. If evidence contradicts your belief, you adjust. You evolve. That intellectual adaptability is rare because it requires detaching identity from opinion. Many people feel threatened by new information. You feel curious. Growth matters more to you than ego preservation. 13. You ask, why? Constantly, you rarely accept surface explanations. When someone gives you an answer, you instinctively search for the mechanism behind it. Why do people behave that way? Why do certain systems repeat the same outcomes? Why do patterns persist across cultures and time? That relentless curiosity drives deeper comprehension. Curiosity is not just interest, it is the engine of intelligence. It pushes you beyond passive consumption into active investigation. 14. You sometimes feel mentally misunderstood, not emotionally, mentally. You explain an idea with detail and nuance, only to notice confusion in others' expressions. So you simplify. Then simplify again, until the idea loses its depth. You've likely experienced that quiet frustration of compressing complex thoughts into smaller forms so they can land. This isn't about arrogance, it's about cognitive bandwidth. When your processing speed or abstraction level differs from those around you, translation becomes necessary. 15. You change your mind when evidence demands it. This is rare, very rare. If credible data challenges your stance, you shift without drama. No ego collapse, no defensiveness, just an update. That ability reflects cognitive maturity. You understand that intelligence is not static knowledge, it's adaptive reasoning. The willingness to evolve separates rigid thinkers from truly intelligent ones. Intelligence doesn't always look impressive. Sometimes it looks like silence, like doubt, like overthinking, like sitting in a room full of people and feeling slightly out of sync. If you've spent years underestimating yourself because you weren't the loudest voice, you might have misunderstood what intelligence actually looks like. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Being intelligent is powerful, but being intelligent and socially aware, that's dangerous. Next time, we're diving into something most people completely overlook, the subtle difference that separates intelligent minds from average ones. Things intelligent people never say. Because words are not random. They are reflections of how someone thinks. The phrases people choose, the timing behind them, the tone they carry, all of it reveals the structure of their mind. And once you understand that, you'll start hearing intelligence, or the lack of it, in every conversation around you. You don't want to miss that one. If you enjoy seeing the psychology beneath everyday behavior, subscribe. You're in the right place.